So they do everything. I mean, there's been situations where a kid stole a coat. Why'd you steal the coat? Well, because my mom can't afford one. How come? Because she doesn't have a job. When we have no heat in our house. Okay, next thing you know, they're sending an oil truck out to the house to give them some heating because of the heating assistance. I mean, that's just the way that they run. So maybe that's why they do it the way they do it, because the kids, when they get their kids, they plug them right into these different programs that they have. And they're always developing new programs. Like, I know if you look at the All-Star program, that's just a program that they have where these kids go and they have teachers come in and they have these guest speakers come in, motivational speakers to talk to the kids and to try to get them motivated and, so. That's all.
I like this one. I mean, you bring them in, and you bring them back and give them the thing saying they completed it.
They put a gold star.
There's a teacher talking. Something like that. I think something like that.
Believe it or not, yeah, they really, kids like that.
Do you know what I used to have when I taught full time? I used to have refrigerator awards. And the criteria was, I had passed them out once a month, and they had to hang it on the refrigerator at home. And I would have parents of senior football players calling me saying, it's the first time I've had a paper hanging on the refrigerator since they were in the first grade. Kids love some kind of a tangible.
I ran some groups at a training school. The kids who completed them would get certificates. And this one kid from Newport, I might say, who I've not seen since I've been back over there, but he got the certificate and said he was going to have it made into a T-shirt, and it's the first thing he ever completed. That's great.
Well, that's one of the programs that we had at Family Court. Matter of fact, we still have it. Hopefully, we can continue being funded for it. Is Operation Guardian. It's a program that we run in conjunction with the National Guard, and like you said, they get the T-shirts, and that's all they want. They want their T-shirts. But at the end of the week, we do a graduation ceremony to all the kids who, they bring their parents, they bring their grandparents, they bring their sisters, their girlfriends, they bring their boyfriends. The place is packed, and the National Guard would have a little bit of money, from their budget that they would buy like snacky foods and drinks and stuff like that. And you would think that it was like a high school graduation. The superlative awards, the most athletic, from gloom to doom or something like that. They had all these awards that they had, and the kids just loved them, and they were really proud of themselves when they got done with it. But that's something that's
Big kids are no different than little kids that just bigger bodies.
Parents get excited too, believe it or not, because they're not always the most successful kids.
I mean, a lot of these kids aren't emotionally where they're supposed to be anyway, so they are functioning at a younger age.
Is there a town that is similar enough to Jamestown in terms of size and demographics that you think has a really excellent hearing board?
Middletown.
Size, resources.
Middletown is, you're kind of a unique situation because you're kind of like in between the Newport and the North Kingston.
Middletown and Newport aren't big ones.
I was gonna say Middletown is a really good board. Some of the newer boards are really good.
Does North Kingstown have a board?
Yes, they do.
How do they function?
They do very well. They're new. I think they're about 5 or 6 years old. They do really well. They do a lot of cases.
Because it might be worth it to align ourselves a bit with them since our kids are in their schools.
Right.
Well, that's what, that was one of the things that when North Kingston was brought on back in the day when I was doing this full time, that I know the kids from Jamestown, they go to North NK High.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens to a kid in North Kingston High School, Johnny Jones and his friend get into a fist fight, and the kids from North Kingston and the other kids Jamestown. When the kid from Jamestown goes to Washington County Court or wherever they go, wherever they get charged. If you could work with maybe the school resource officer over there, if the kids are from Jamestown, maybe you can send them here to,
Yeah, we talked about that, and I think you were part of that discussion. You got this thing down because, like, some of the people from the Prevention Coalition are also in the North Kingston schools, so we can work
The resource officer
and
is
stuff.
good.
And I think, and we thought it was important. We thought it was important.
Yeah.
I went to the academy with
Chance
that.
to go walk.
We thought it was important to have our own hearing board in Jamestown.
She's not a resource officer,
Share one
she's
of
a
those.
psychologist.
It's a jurisdictional issue.
Do we have one person talk at a time?
But if that's kind of like a jurisdictional issue where if the kid commits a violation on Kingstown, they can't send them to us.
No, well, that's not
Okay.
true. No,
Okay.
because what happens is there was issues at some hearing boards where if offense is heard in another town, they can either be heard there in North Kingston, even though they're from Jamestown, or if they wanted to, they could send them back to Jamestown to be heard at their board. That was addressed about maybe 6 years ago. When we had some enabling legislation that was put in, that when the report started to be generated by family court, that's what one of the sanctions, it's in one of the general laws.
So it could go the other way, a kid from North Kingston could get in trouble in Jamestown.
Yeah,
Right.
and just ship them over.
If they could, I don't know what their volume is, they may not be able to do it
We may
all
hear it
because
here
they have too many
Right.
cases, or you could hear it here.
If they
Is that
allow.
a chief-to-chief decision then?
Well, it's up to the prosecution officer if they want to do it. That's something that can be worked out.
I mean, I think a lot of this is like anything else, you start from scratch, it's going to evolve as we become.
You got a different situation where your kids go over the bridge into North Kingstown where, you want them to have equal rights, equal protection, why can the kid from North Kingston go to the hearing board, but yet the kid from Jamestown has to go to family court, right?
That's really.
If they can't handle them at North Kingstown, why can't you see if they can, if they would be willing to send them over here, and as long as the sanctions are, fair and equitable to what happens in North Kingston, I don't see, I think, a big problem.
Do you know the name of anybody in the North Kingstown board?
I was working close with Stu Johnson, retired. I know Ann, she was,
Ian Cunningham, she's
she
a
was,
resource officer.
she was, I think, very, very involved with the board. at the
She
time.
was, because I talked to
And I
her
think
before we
that's
went to
what-
school.
Yeah, so maybe Ann could put you in touch with, unfortunately, because of my other duties that I have at the court, I don't get to devote as much time to this as I once did.
I mean, I think we should, my thoughts, and for sake of a discussion, is I think we go see Newport Thursday night and figure out where we are at that point. If we need to do other stuff or anything, but, I mean, I don't mean this demeaningly, but it's not rocket science. I mean,
No, absolutely not. It's very, very,
It's really pretty
It's-
cut and
it's
dry,
very-
and it's at discretion as to what we do, so.
Right.
I think sometimes
It's
we
actually
get
what
hung
happened
up
back-
on, are we going to do it as well as somebody else? And you have to take your own, go forth on your own,
Like I said,
and rely on your own.
It happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago when villages used to deal with their kids and deal with the people in their village. The board sat and they came up with it. And,
But at the same time, if there's creative and innovative stuff that's happening in other towns,
It's probably creative and innovative stuff that hasn't been thought of here in Jamestown yet.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it probably will be.
Absolutely.
A number of us here have a lot of
Nominations.
experience working.
You're going to have contacts, you're going to be able to tie people into certain agencies, whether it's in Newport or whether it's on the other side, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be able to do.
Are there a lot of communities that don't have hearing boards yet?
Believe it or not, we've got, there's 34, there's 3 or 4, there's 39 cities in town, so there's 5 left. South Kingston, Tiverton, which Tiverton is really kind of an odd place. Every year they do the legislation, and then they let it just go by. Richmond,
Richmond doesn't have it.
Charlestown has a really good board, but like their hands are tied because the schools in Richmond, the kids get in trouble in Richmond, they want the kids to go to the board in Charlestown. Hopkinton has a really good board.
So they don't have a Charahoe board, it's all the individual communities.
Charahoe has a board, but it's Charlestown and Hopkinton. The only one that doesn't have one is Richmond. Richmond, South Kingston, Tiverton, Little Compton, North Providence, will they be coming out? So there's 4 that we stood on, we don't have on board.